everyone, welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. Today we have another ocean habitat and we are still in the Pacific Ocean here with this short-beaked common dolphin. It's the first dolphin I have been building for and it's just beautiful. The dolphin that is. I hope you also think that of the habitat, and if you want to know how I build it or simply just learn a little bit more about the short-beaked common dolphin, then please keep watching. And one thing I often forget to tell you guys is that I'm using a few mods today, always. But we have the animal we're gonna build for, of course, is a mod, and it's the short-beaked common dolphin mod. It's made by Litle, Buffzoo, and ARIKA, and I made a video on it that went up yesterday. Then I, of course, have all my prop mods. I have pretty much all of them installed currently, but I don't remember which things are from which packs. So I have a playlist of all of the prop mods, and if there's something I use that you can't find in the game, then you can probably find it in those videos. And we are also using what's it called, workshop items today, which is not mods. They do of course modify the game a little bit, but they are not anything like that. It's simply that you can go to Steam and download these. You don't need to keep an eye on it, you don't need to update it, be aware of it in any way. You can just get it, and it's just like a blueprint you made yourself that you then can just use others' blueprint as well. And for me, it's gonna be the aquatic plants and corals we're gonna use today. And I just want to mention who made them here so I don't forget later. So we have Cece's aquatic plant pack by Cece. We have water plants by ? Because I simply do not know. I tried to follow it back on Steam and it just stated on like a number basically, so I'm not sure if that person just don't have Steam anymore or something like that. It seems a little weird. And then I have Assortment of corals by Acreatist, I think it's pronounced. It's these 3 aquatic plant and coral packs that I use from Steam, and I've used them for a while. I think at least 3 zoos back at this point, and I do really enjoy using them. They are so good and so beautiful, and they have a lot of diversity within them. So if you're looking for corals, which you can of course make yourself, it's made with things from the game, but if you, like me, do not really know where to start with corals, it is a really easy way to do so. Like the last aquatic habitat you can see here on the other side of the building, I really want to give this illusion that this habitat kind of goes on forever, but where I used screens last time to do so, today I will simply do it by blurring the background, not actually like a blurring filter, but I plan to make the water a little darker, a little more mushy, so you actually can't see the back end, but I'm gonna place some things back there so you can like see something happens back there, but you can't really see the end in any clear capacity, which I really like doing, so I hope you will like it too, of course. I am also aware of the fact that even though we are still in the Pacific Oceans, which also this last habitat were, there is a difference here, and that is the fact that dolphins do come into coastal area, but they also live out on the open water. Last time I went very much around these coral reefs that happens to be not only in coastal areas, but the thing is that they need light from the sun, and the sun only get a certain amount or a certain length down in the water. So therefore, if you get too close, too deep, the corals will have issues basically having sunlight. Where the Dolphins here, they can actually go quite deep. Don't always do so. They can also, of course, jump off of the ocean and have a fun time at the surface. But I wanted this illusion that this is further out in the ocean compared to the other habitat. That's where also why we make the water darker again. And all of the plants and corals will either be green, blue, or neutral tone to give this darker and less colorful view, where I really enjoy normally building with the pink and purple corals. I will have to limit myself today. When it comes to the short-beaked dolphin, and basically all dolphins, they actually comes in a really weird way. When we, of course, go in and look at these different classifications for animals, I really enjoy sometimes looking at who are they related to. And if we go all the way back to the order, they are in the Artiodactyla order. And the reason why I find this so interesting is that it really isn't that long since we have been talking about this order. Of course, my pronunciations is haywire, but now I'm just gonna mention some other animals in here. We have the moose, we have the common hippo, we have the alpaca, we have the sheeps, we have the bisons, goats, boar, reindeer, elk. Yeah, we can continue. Okapi. But it is the order of the even-toed ungulates, which is, for instance, hoofed animals. These even toes, which means that they don't have an even number of toes necessarily. Now, hoofed animals, of course, do. Hoofed animals are like a cow, 2 toes, so of course even number. But they can also have like 5 toes, but it means that they put their weight and most of their movement is based on 2 of these toes, which if you have 5 toes would be normally the 2nd and 3rd toe. And then what we would call the big toe, little toe, and ring toe is pretty much useless. It's just there. However, the dolphins are not the only weird animals in here. We also have the blue whale, the killer whale, narwhal, and yeah, a lot of whales in here. So it's not the only aquatic animals in here, just to clarify. It is also an order with over 500 different animals within, so it is kind of logical that a few of them wouldn't be exactly the same. And because this order is so big, it can also be sorted into infra-order. It's kind of like some animals have a subfamily within the family. The same thing is with orders, that some orders can be split up to infra-order, but if it is a small order, you will normally not do so. Again, here we have over 500 animals, so we can split them up. In this case, the dolphins are in the Psittacea infra-order, and it's 104 animals. It seems, for the way I see it, to be much more aquatic. We have some whales, we have some dolphins, we have a vacuita, which I have no idea what is. It is in water though, but I want to look at that one day. But it is these bigger ocean animals, as it seems. So after we go for 500 to 100 animals, now it's time to go down to 42 animals, and we do that by splitting them up to families. And this family is called Delphinidae, and for those who don't know, a dolphin is called a delphine in Danish, so this is actually closer to Danish than English. But here's the thing is that Delphinidae is the family of the dolphins. But this is commonly ocean animals ending with the name of a dolphin or a whale. So technically, the whales are still in the dolphin family group. They don't split up into families. So the next we have to look at is the genus. Again, genus is the first word of their Latin name most of the time. And it's also like this is the closest of the closest of the closest. I assume that all dolphins have the same genus, which they do not. There's actually only 2 dolphins out there with this specific genus, which is the Delphinus. Yes, it's called Delphinus. Delphinus, sorry. And that's the short-beaked common dolphin, which we talk about today, and the long-beaked common dolphins, which means all of the other dolphins are not in the Delphinus genus. But for once, we have an animal with a Latin name that makes sense to say, and people would most of the time understand what's it called. So the short-billed common dolphin is called Delphinus delphins. Sorry, Delphinus delphis. Delphis. So yeah, it's a little trickery for me to actually pronounce, but it makes so much sense, and I think most people hearing it would kind of have an idea about which kind of animal we are talking about. The short-beaked common dolphin is actually the most common dolphin in the world, with more than 6 million living individuals around the world, but they are not the most commonly seen, nor the one that most people would describe. And that's pretty much because of the bottle-nosed dolphin is more commonly seen in, for instance, aqua worlds, aqualands, what we're gonna call them, zoos, and so on. But in the wild, the short-beaked common dolphin is the most common in the world, but it's not what we show around in the zoos, apparently. But I am. The short-beaked common dolphin is a medium-sized dolphin, though the males are still bigger and therefore also heavier than the females. The males are also easier to recognize because they have posternal humps. I'm not gonna go into more description about that, but it's just so you know, if you see a short-beaked common dolphin, you can look in that area and see if it's male or female. These beautiful dolphins also have a quite unique pattern to them. They of course have the darker grayer back and the white belly like a lot of dolphins have, but then they have this weird shape on the side, which either could be a hourglass or 2 kind of elongated round thingies. The thing is, if you say hourglass, it have each end of the hourglass have its own color. So in the front we have this beautiful color that could be gray, yellow, or golden, and in the back end it have this more like a grayish color, which is pretty much a medium between the whiteness of the belly and the dark gray / black color of the back. It's made very beautiful on this mod, and I think you can see it really clearly here. And if you want to see more of it, I can only recommend googling pictures. Not all of them have the exact same pattern. Some of them have some dark lines in between or something like that, and they are beautiful, all of them. So really recommend, if you want to see that, Google if it's your friend. There is though a reason why we have this giant number of them, and that's because they do both live in the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, and therefore they live both around Europe, North America, South America, Asia, and Africa. So yeah, when you have that much space and you want to reproduce, you have plenty of space for your offspring in general. I think I already have talked a little bit about where they live, but they of course both live in these neretic, intertidal and coastal areas where we normally would see them. But they also live out in the open ocean, in the marine area, in the benthic areas, and of course around the beautiful reefs. And they stay both within the tropical and temperate climate zones, and therefore that's a pretty big part of the world. If you have been on vacation in one of these beautiful places, or just are living there lucky enough to do so, you have probably seen dolphins of some kind running around in these family groups or just groups, which could consist of a few individuals to a few more, maybe. This specific dolphin really is a social animal, and therefore they need others around them all the time. They like to travel together, eat together, and of course also breed together. This makes their group sizes vary for maybe 1,000 individuals and to 100,000. It's quite rare that we see any animal in any biome preferring these giant groups, unless there's some really specific way, safety in numbers or something like that. But these just like each other and like to be around each other, so it's kind of cute when you think about it. But to live in these giant groups, if you live in a city this size, you know you need to have some kind of social norm to how to get along and help each other, and we can all coexist in some specific way. Here it is also quite clear. They teach not only their own kids, but as a unit they have all teachers for each other's kids, and they will also help the sick by simply using their own fins to keep other dolphins afloat, either getting them up to breathe or simply, come on, the group is moving, we need you to get along, go with us. They do not leave anyone behind. They make sure, even if they have to carry each other's, something that we don't really see with a lot of animals in the wild. Because of the giant number of the short-beaked common dolphin, they are of course the least concerned animal, but they don't mean that they don't have any issues. One of these very big issues is of course us. We pollute the water, we have all the climate changes, we hunt the dolphins, we eat the dolphins, we also explore them. Now again, I did already say they are not the most common dolphin in captivity, but still some of them are. But one issue that they actually also have is their own number. The fact that when they move in these big groups, they need to feed all of them, and sometimes that becomes a bit of an issue, but it is kind of a luxury issue, species wild. Anyway, enjoy these pictures. I think they're beautiful. I hope you agree with me, and I will come back after the cinematics. Okay, everyone, that's all I got for you today. And as always, I really hope you enjoyed it. And you know the drill, guys. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video. Really hope to see you again, either in the comments below or in the next video. Bye, guys.